books, I think she's begun to see how useful it will be to have a fully trained wizard in the family. After that, they didn't have much chance to talk. The earmuffs were back on and they needed to concentrate on the mandrakes. Professor Sprout had made it look extremely easy, but it wasn't. The mandrakes didn't like coming out of the earth but didn't seem to want to go back into it either. They squirmed, kicked, flailed their sharp little fists, and gnashed their teeth. Harry spent 10 whole minutes trying to squash a particularly fat one into a pot. By the end of the class, Harry, like everyone else, was sweaty, aching, and covered in earth. They traipsed back to the castle for a quick wash. Then the Gryffindors hurried off to Griffin Transfiguration. Professor McGonagall's class were always hard work, but today was especially difficult. Everything Harry had learned last year seemed to leak out of his head during the summer. He's supposed to be turning a beetle into a button, but all he managed to do was to give his beetle a lot of exercise as it scuttled over the desktop, avoiding his wand. Ron was having far worse problems. He had patched up his wand with some borrowed sellotape. It's wrong because it said spellotape. It's sellotape. Maybe it's just like spellotape in wizarding worlds. But it had seemed to be damaged beyond repair. Kept crackling and sparking at odd moments, and every time Ron tried to transfigure his beetle, it engulfed him in thick grey smoke, which smelled of rotten eggs. Unable to see what he was doing, Ron accidentally squashed his beetle with his elbow, and I had to ask for a new one. Professor McGonagall wasn't pleased. Harry was relieved to hear the lunch bell. His brain felt like a wrung sponge. Everyone filed out of the classroom except him and Ron, who was whacking his wand furiously on the desktop. "What have we forgot this afternoon?" said Harry hastily. "Defense against the dark arts," said Hermione at once. "Why?" demanded Ron, seizing her timetable. "Have you outlined all Lockhart's lessons in little hearts?" Hermione snatched the timetable back, flashing furiously. They finished lunch and went out into the overcast courtyard. Harry and Ron stood talking about Quidditch for several minutes before Harry became aware that he was being closely watched. He saw the very small mousy-haired boy he'd seen trying on the sorting hat last night, staring at Harry. He was clutching what looked like an ordinary Muggle camera. At the moment Harry looked at him, he went bright red. "All right, Harry. I'm Colin Creevy," he said, breathe breathlessly, taking a tentative step forward. I'm in Gryffindor too. Do you think it will be alright if can I have a picture? He said, raising the camera hopefully. So I can prove I've met you, said Colin Creevy eagerly, edging further forward. I know all about you. Everyone's told me about how you survived when you know who tried to kill you and how he disappeared and everything, and how you still got a lightning scar on your forehead. His eyes raked Harry's hairline, and the boy in my dormitory said if I develop the film in the right potion, the pictures will move. It's brilliant here, isn't it? I never knew all the odd stuff I could do with magic till I got the letter from Hogwarts. My dad's a milkman. You can't believe it either. So I'm taking loads of pictures to send home to him. And it would be really good if I had one of you. He looked imploringly at Harry. Maybe your friend could take it and I could stand next to you and then you can sign it. Signed photos? You're giving out signed photos? Loud and skating. Draco's Malfoy's voice echoed around the courtyard. He had stopped right behind Colin, flanked, as he always was at Hogwarts, by his large and thuggish cronies. Crabby and Goyle, everybody crew up! Malfoy roared to the crowd. Harry Potter's giving out signed photos. No, I'm not. Shut up, Malfoy. You're just jealous. Jealous? Of course I don't want to skull far. Thanks, I don't think getting your head cut open makes you that special myself. Eat slugs, Malfoy. Be careful, Weasley. You don't want to start any trouble or your mummy have to take you away from school. If you, he put on a shrill, piercing voice, if you put another toe out of line, I'm not a Slytherin 50 years. Nearby laughed loudly at this. Weasley would like a signed photo, Potter, smirked Malfoy. It'll be worse. Come on then, Creevy, said Lockhart, beaming at Colin. A double portrait can't sit fairer than that, and we'll both sign it for you. Colin fumbled for his camera and took a picture as the bell rang behind them, signalling the start of afternoon classes. Off you go, a word to word. I covered for you back there with young Crazy. If he was photographing me, your school fellows won't think you're setting yourself up too much. Deaf to Harry stammers. Lockhart swept him down. Let me just say that handing out signed pictures at this stage of your career isn't sensible. Looks a tad big-headed, Harry, to be frank. There may well come a time when, like me, you'll need a little stack handy wherever you go. But he gave a little chortle. I don't think you're quite there yet. They had reached Lockhart's classroom, and he let Harry go at last. Harry yanked his robe straight and headed for a seat at the very back of the class, where he busied himself with piling all the 7 of Lockhart's books in front of them so that he could avoid looking at the real thing. Shut up. You could have fried an egg on your face, said one. You'd better hope Creevy doesn't meet Jenny. They'll be starting in Harry Potter fan club. Shut up, snapped Harry. The last thing he needed was for Lockhart to hear the phrase Harry Potter fan club. When the whole class was seated, Lockhart cleared his throat and loudly picked up Neville Longbottom's copy of Travel Trot and held it up to show his own winking portrait. Me. Gilderoy Lockhart, Order of Merlin, 3rd class, honourably member of the Dark Force Defence League and 5 times winner of Witch Weekly's Most Charming Smile Award, but I don't talk about that. I didn't get rid of that band and banshee by smiling at her. He waited for them to laugh. A few people smirked weakly. When he had handed out the test papers, he returned to the front of the class and said, "You've had 30 minutes. Start now." Harry looked down at his paper and read. First, what is Gilderoy Lockhart's favourite colour? 2. Second, what is Gilderoy Lockhart's secret ambition? Third, what, in your opinion, is Gilderoy Lockhart's greatest achievement to date? On and on it went over 3 sides of paper, right down to 54. When is Gilderoy Lockhart's birthday, and what would his ideal gift be? Half an hour later, Lockhart collected in their paper and my favourite colour is lilac. I say so in Year with a Yeti, and a few of you need to read Wanderings with Werewolves more carefully. I would clearly have in chapter 12 that my ideal birthday gift would be harmony between all magical and non-magical peoples. Although I wouldn't say no to a large bottle of Ogden's old fire whiskey. He gave them another roguish wink. Ron is now staring at Lockhart with an expression of disbelief on his face. Seamus Finnegan and Dean Thomas, who was sitting in front, were shaking with silent laughter. Hermione, on the other hand, was listening to Lockhart and gave a start when he mentioned her name. But Miss Hermione Granger knew my secret ambition is to rid the world of evil and market my own range of hair care potions. Good girl. In fact, he flipped her paper over. 4 marks. Where is Miss Hermione Granger? Hermione raised a trembling hand. Excellent, beamed Lockhart. Quite excellent. Take 10 points from Gryffindor. And so, to business. He bent down and lifted a large covered cage. Now be warned. It is my job to arm you against the farthest creatures known to wizardkind. In spite of himself, Harry leaned forward around his pile of books to have a better look at the cage. Neville was carrying in the front row seat. "I must ask you not to scream," said Lockhart in a low voice. "Well, they're not very dangerous, are they? And freshly caught Cornish pixies. Not very dangerous, are they?" "Seems true." "Don't be so sure. The devilish, tricky little blighters they can be." The moment the cover had been removed, they had started jabbering and rocking about, rattling their bars and putting bizarre faces at the people nearest them. It was pandemonium. The pixies shot in every direction. Two of them, like rockets, seized Neville by the ears and lifted them into the air. They grabbed ink bottles and sprayed the class with them, shredded books and papers, tore pictures from the walls, upended the waistbin, grabbed bags and books and threw them out of the smashed window. Within minutes, half the class was sheltering under desks, and Neville was swinging from the candelabra in the ceiling. He rolled up his sleeves, brandished his wand. "Pixie Pistonomy." It had no effect. One of the pixies seized Lockhart's wand and threw it out of the window too. Lockhart gulped and dived onto his own desk, narrowly avoiding being squashed by Neville, who fell a second later as the candelabra gave way. Lockhart straightened up, caught sight of Harry, Ron and Hermione. "Well, I asked you three to just nip the rest of them back into the cave." He swept past them and shut the door. "Can you believe them?" was one of the remaining pixies bit painfully in the air. "He just wants to give us some hands-on experience," said Hermione, immobilizing two pixies at once with a clever freezing charm and stuffing them back into the cage. "Hands-on? Who's trying to grab a pixie dancing out of reach with its tongue out?" "Hermione, he didn't have a clue of what he was doing." "Rubbish," said Hermione. "You read his books. Look at all those amazing things he's done." "He says he's done," Ron muttered. The end of chapter 6. Bye-bye.